We wanted to add a postscript to our live-streamed broadcast because a topic that we had failed to note warrants attention. And that is that one other problem that has come to light in recent days is Keith Ellison's personal history of domestic abuse. There are several women, I believe 2, that he has been romantically involved with who have come forward with documentation of acts of violence and psychological abuse that he's engaged in. And Trevor, I just wonder, as you think about this individual's personal affinity for and indeed espousal of Sharia, might there be a connection here between how he treats women and that belief system?
Well, I think you'd have to say the line is probably more blurred. As someone who believes in Sharia law treats women as second-class citizens at the very minimum,
best, yeah.
and not just allows beating of wives, but actually specifies how you can do it. Mm-hmm. You know, what kind of instrument you may use to beat your wife into submission, or where you may hit her, etc. So,
and this isn't simply a matter, as I understand it, of it being permissible to do that. It's actually expected of you in order to keep the woman in her place. Is that right?
It's an obligation as the head of the household that you do not spare the rod. You use physical discipline where appropriate to keep your wife or wives in line. Yeah. And so you've got someone like Keith Ellison who has a background in Sharia law with a history of spousal abuse. Well, to him, maybe it's not anything bad. It's just what is expected of him as a good Muslim. Mm. So any woman voter, any female voter in Minnesota, you'd have to be thinking, is such a person appropriate to be the chief law enforcement officer in your state? Mm. You know, what kind of message does that send all down the chain to every husband out there, to every Muslim husband or other husbands indeed, that the top law enforcement officer has a history of abusing his wife, and may be sanctified by the religious law that he adheres to.
This is an important public policy issue, needless to say, and I appreciate you drilling down on it a little bit with us, Trevor Loudon. Thank you again to all of you for listening to the author of this important new book, Burn This Book. Thanks for joining us.